absolute value and opposite integers. When we talk about opposite integers, we are actually looking for two numbers that are the same distance from 0 but in opposite directions. For example, if we have 3, so from here, from 0, we have to locate 3 in the number line. So that's 1, 2, 3. Take note, 3 is a positive number. That's why we are going to the right from 0. From 0 to 3, that would be 3 units going to the right. What we're looking now would be another number, but when we try to base it from 0, going to that specific number, the distance would still be 3, but this time in the opposite direction. Since we went to the right, this time we will go to the left. So from 0, we move 3 units to the left. 1, 2, 3. That means that the distance from 0 to negative 3 is also 3. It's just that that direction is going to the left. That's why negative 3 and 3 are opposite numbers. How about if we talk about absolute value? Absolute value means the distance from 0. So let us say we will consider negative 3. So the location of negative 3 is here. So what we need to figure out now, how far is 0 from, how far is negative 3 from 0? So that would be 1, 2, 3. So that would be 3 units. So therefore, the distance of negative 3 from 0 is 3. We can also state that as the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. Now, to write this statement in a shorter version, we can actually use two vertical bars as indicator of absolute value. So, based from what we've said a while ago, we can write it as the absolute value of negative 3 is equal to 3. It's 3 because that's the distance of negative 3 from 0. And if you notice, if we try to get the absolute value of 3, 3 is here. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 units as well. So therefore, the absolute value of 3 is also 3. So therefore, absolute value, it will, the distance, or the direction rather, will not matter when we try to consider the absolute value of a certain number. And if you notice, distance would always be positive because there's no such thing as negative distance. Let's try to consider some examples. What is the absolute of 2? So 2 is here. So The statement absolute value means we're looking for the distance of 2 from 0. So from 0, that's 1, 2. Therefore, the absolute value of 2 is 2. How about the opposite of 2? Since 2 is going to the right, we have to figure out the number which is 2 units away from 0 but going to the left. So that would be 1, 2. Therefore, the opposite of 2 is negative 2. Okay, let's try another example. What is now the opposite of negative 8? So, from 0 going to the negative 8, the distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 going to the left. That means we have to figure out a certain number which is a distance of 8 but going to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So therefore, the opposite of negative 8 is 8. Now it's already seen on the screen, but the absolute value of negative 8 is 8 because from 0 to negative 8, it is 8 units away. Let us try to make shortcuts. So here, we know that the absolute value of 32 is 32. 297 is 297. Negative 47 is 47. Negative 89 is 89 for its absolute value. If you notice, all of the answers are all positive. So therefore, that's the first shortcut. Absolute value is always positive. That means if we will complete this table, the absolute value of 27 is 27. The absolute value of negative 93 is 93. And distance from 0 from itself is just 0. Therefore, its absolute value is also 0. Now let's talk about the opposite integer. So if you notice, if the value is 32, its opposite integer is negative 32. The opposite integer of 297 is negative 297. Negative 47 is 47. And negative 89 is 89. Of course, if you will be using the number line all the time, it will take a while for you to get the answer. So you must figure out the shortcut to figure out the opposite integer of a certain integer. Yes, that's correct. If you notice, the difference only from the given and its opposite would just be its sign. So that means if the given is positive, then its opposite integer would be negative. 32 to 97. Then it becomes negative. Then if the given is negative, the opposite would become positive. So negative 47 to positive 47, negative 89 to positive 89. So if we try to complete this, the opposite integer of 27, that's positive, so it's negative 27. Opposite of negative 93 is just a positive 93. And of course, 0 is neutral. It's not positive nor negative. So it is still 0. So let us try to summarize all the things that we've learned based from the shortcuts that we've answered. Absolute value is always positive. The opposite of a positive is a negative. The opposite of a negative is positive. So just think of it as from positive to negative, from negative to positive. And the absolute value and the opposite of 0 is just 0.